So the Carolina Panthers do not select quarterback, which I thought they might do once I saw that the that the Giants did not go tackle. I thought maybe they knew something I didn't. Maybe that's what's happening. No, the Panthers go out and actually get kind of, someone who many people feel as though could be a guard, whereas a lot of people felt like they might be looking towards a tackle, although I think Ekwonu can play tackle. Ekwonu was my number one offensive lineman, so I don't really hate this move at all. I kind of like it. I don't know where the Panthers are going to go from here. I mean, they're more than a player away, so, this could have been a trade-back team, but like we always say, you have to, it takes two to tango. You have to find someone to be willing to trade back of you. So if you can't do that, this is probably the pick I would have made if I was in this spot, so I don't hate it at all. Let's get into the film, talk about what I like about the player, and then we'll get into kind of the fit. Let's start off with a play like this, because this will show a lot of what Ekwonu can do. So he's left tackle here. I know there's going to be talk about, is he a guard, is he a tackle? I think he could be either or, but anyways, I think he has the capability of being either or is what I mean. But this is something that, matters whether you're a tackle or a guard, getting up to the second level, which he can do very well. Right when this play begins, you see how he does get up to the second level and is able to create, get the block with the guy he needs to, get. So this is good. Listen, he's not maybe necessarily as good as like Evan Neal is in terms of that, I think, but he can still definitely get to the guy he has to get to. But that's not really why I'm showing this play so much. I wanted to show this play just to show the violence that he plays with. There is definitely some violent tendencies with Ekwonu. Watch him just toss that player to the ground, and he's still able to run over and, find someone else to hit. So good stuff from Ekwonu, and that's just kind of what he does. He has some impressive wins. He wins just as much as anyone, but he also has the home run wins just as much as anyone. Going over here now, so this is another one of those plays. It's, him going to be going up to the second level and block another player. First, he's going to start off with a double team, and then he tries to get up to the second level to make a block there. Right when this play begins, you notice that he does a good job, again, of getting to that spot where he has to get to, and this is just kind of where he almost quite frankly bullies people. I mean, if there was a locker on the football field, he would have shoved somebody in it. Watch him just twist the guy and throw him around, and I don't know if I've ever seen that, to be honest, but that's just kind of, again, very fun. This is what he can do. He can do stuff like this. He can just completely shove guys out of the way. Now, will this move work at the NFL level? You can definitely debate it, but certainly if you are dominating at the college level, it stands to reason you should at least be good at this stuff at the NFL level. There's also something like this. So this is going to be a running play. It's kind of set up as though it might be a passing play, but no, this is going to be a running play. It's still going to be a one-on-one block though with the edge rusher for Ekwonu. And watch how with his right hand, he's able to get the hand placement he wants and just sort of shove 15 off to the side. He's able to give his running back a running lane if his running back decides he wants to go there. He's able to get him there. So right out the bat, great stuff from Ekwonu. And then you're also going to see something a little bit extra happen after this, which, listen, I mean, as you see, there's going to be a little bit of pushing afterwards, which, I did feel like there was some pushing from Ekwonu. Like I said, he is definitely someone who plays violent. He wasn't like Trevor Penning bad, I didn't think. Like, he definitely at times, maybe you could argue, like, went up to the line, but I don't know how many times he actually crossed the line. He definitely plays with an edge, though. There's no denying that. One more running play. I want to talk about his athleticism for a second. He's clearly a very big and strong guy, but I think he's an athlete as well. He can get up to that second level well, and that's kind of why he gets those guard talks. A lot of time when people say, is this guy a guard? Usually the reason why that is said is, and why it's said in that tone, right, of, oh, I don't know, is this guy a guard? You say it like that because you just don't think he can play tackle. I don't think that's the case with Ekwonu. I think he can play tackle. I just think he would make an awesome guard. On this play, you see who he's supposed to go up and block, and just watch how he gets to that spot. As you see, Ekwonu is able to get there and use that right hand to just push aside the player who he's trying to block. And again, another push after the play a little bit. He definitely plays to the whistle. Yeah, you're never going to accuse him of giving up on a block too early. That's not something you'll ever accuse him of. So again, some people view that as a positive, some people view that as a negative, but that's something on tape. One last play to talk about. I want to talk about this one. I didn't spend too much on his pass protection. His pass protection's good. Like, he was better in pass protection and more consistent in pass protection than Evan Neal was, quite frankly. Now, not as good of competition that he went up against as someone playing for Alabama went up against, but still, I would say that he won more than Evan Neal did. Maybe not as much as Charles Cross, but similarly good. He was very good in pass protection. There was just a little bit of issues that I noticed sometimes with footwork, and this is going to be a good example of it. You see him just be a little bit slow off the line, which allowed him to get driven back, and then the quarterback made the worst throw I've ever seen. I mean, this is just a baffling decision right here. Part of that is, this is a wildcat play, so this is not the actual quarterback. It looked like this was designed. So, again, very weird play. The weirdest play I've ever seen. Don't know what was supposed to happen there. That was a baffling decision. Do not make that throw. But, going back a little bit to what we're talking about, that was just, again, a little bit of, I don't know if I want to call it lazy footwork, but just, kind of a little bit slow of his footwork that allowed him to get driven back. And you could also argue the hands came into play there. It wasn't brutal necessarily. I don't think it was that bad. Like, obviously this play wasn't great, but throughout the course of his tape, I didn't think it was like a massive error or anything like that. But was it something I noticed on tape? Yeah, it was something I noticed on tape. Does that negate all of the good stuff? Like, obviously not. The good stuff was still awesome with him. His tape is legitimately very good. He's, the big three tackles. He might be a guard, but he is certainly in those big three, and I had him as my number one guy. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. And listen, again, here's kind of the way I view it is I think his pass blocking is at least in the same conversation as Evan Neal and Charles Cross. I think that you can make the argument that they're, it's in the same conversation. So if you feel that way, if you feel like they are similar, his run blocking is just better. It's just way better than the run blocking of the other two guys. Evan Neal is probably the most complete offensive lineman. I think that's fair to say. But Ekwonu is the guy who can just bully people. He can run over people and is still very good at being able to pass block. I think he can be a tackle. So it was a position of need for the Panthers. It's definitely going to help their football team this next year, probably the most. The question was, do they go quarterback here? Because, Sam Darnold's your guy, but if you're going to have Sam Darnold have another year, this is probably the best situation for him is finally give him, a really good offensive lineman who I think will be great. So, yeah, I like the move. It's not maybe the most exciting move. I think it would have been more interesting if they drafted a quarterback, just for me personally, selfishly, to have something to talk about. But it's the right move. I like it. So that's what I think. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on a move like this? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.